I don't need this morning, not without coffee yet. Okay. So, I thought that we need to have a discussion because I was speaking with someone and I needed some help. And they gave me a couple of suggestions that I really thought maybe I should institute. So I'm going to ask you guys what you think and open up the discussion here for the first 5 or so minutes. And then we're going to go ahead and talk about the cryptids. One of the first things I want to talk about is making these videos, okay? I get flooded with the comments, and I love you guys to death. You all know that. But when I start getting flooded, I can't, it breaks my train of thought when I'm trying to talk to you guys about what you want me to talk about. So what I was thinking is, how about we go ahead, here, let's move the light here so I can see, you guys can see me a little bit. I'm hiding in the dark. Anyway, I think that we should have Q&A after I'm done discussing the topic that we choose to talk about, because that way it doesn't break my train of thought and it kind of keeps everybody on track. And there's one thing that I wanted to talk about. Second of all, I can't do this all by myself because these comments and everything come flying by me so fast. And I've had a couple trolls on here and had to end our discussion because I, for one, am not going to deal with these people. They have completely tried to destroy me over the years, and I feel like giving them attention is just the worst thing to do for them. They're attention whores, and I can't do that. So I'm asking if anybody out there would like to, I guess, be a moderator or something like that so that they can block or monitor the comments while I'm doing this. If you're interested in that, could somebody please let me know? Because I would really appreciate that. Otherwise, you're going to see my finger up here going, oh, trying to poke out and figure out how to get rid of these people. Okay? That being said, let's see, what else did I have to say? Not enough coffee for one thing this morning, everybody. But I had a lot of suggestions, so I'm going to let you guys pick the topic this morning. The name of this video is All Things Cryptid. So if you guys want to talk about dogmen, Steyama, my opinions, whatever. Thank you, Mr. DeVere. I appreciate that. I like I said, I just need someone to be on here when I'm on here at the moment, to be the moderator. Otherwise, like I said, you're going to see the fingers, and I have the person who approached me before was very helpful and kind, and I really appreciated them so much. It gave me so much information, but I don't feel like I can just put it all on them to be everything for me at the moment. That's not fair. So that's why I'm asking for a call. Okay. Now, it's kind of a toss-up this morning because everybody wants to either hear about my experiences or they want to hear about cryptids and shut the heck up, cat. I don't want to hear about you. So I really need some input here because this doesn't help me when I make videos because I'm trying to just do this for you guys. I told you I would be here to do this the way that you wanted me to do it. So I'm asking you guys to give me some input here. I recently discussed just a quick blurb in a comment that I addressed about the staircases being in the forests. So if anybody's interested in talking about those, other ones are interested in talking just about the stigma, which is fine with me because there's a lot of things going on, with that. Also, too, on my Patreon, I posted up a little post, I guess is what I'm going to call it, because there was a missing hiker in Oregon, and I was able to actually pull up out of his video stills. I sat there and pulled them out. I was so proud of myself for doing it too, by the way. He vanished in an area where the Shay are known to be, and he caught them on the film. I was able to pull them out and show them to people. So I finally do have actual proof of what a shining one looks like, and I went ahead and posted that on my Patreon page. I guess that's about it for talking about that. So, fire sandman. Okay, Mr. DeVere would like to talk about fire salamanders. Well, anything you want to talk about? That's good. Okay, and what do the knocks mean? Okay. First of all, I'm going to tell everybody, the knocking on the wood is from the Seyama. And you have the first knock that you're going to hear is to let the other Seyama in the area to be aware, is to get their attention. Then you're going to hear two knocks. If you hear two knocks, that means that they are paying definite attention to you, okay? That they are aware. They're calling in the others to gather around and kind of surround you. The third one, excuse me, with the three knockings is to let you know that things are getting ramped up. So that means you have their undivided attention, and it can go either way. It depends upon the mood that they are in or that you've done something to them. Okay? Salamanders are awesome beings. I still have them. I just have taken them down because I don't have a place to put them. So I guess I can do an article on Patreon for them. I have several pictures of fire salamanders. When cryptids were created, they were able to do a lot of things that we can't do because they didn't have the mindset. They still don't have the mindset that we have, which tells them, hey, in reality, you don't exist. You're too strange to exist. Fire salamanders are among that species that is free form, free flowing. They are able to assume any form that has to do with fire. Okay, and by that I mean they can actually take on the form of a large dragon type creature. Okay, so I always like to associate them, this will tell you my age definitely, I like to associate them with a movie talking about Smog, Smog the dragon, if anybody remembers him. He was a type of fire salamander, okay? They are able to shift any type of flame fire that can grow bigger. It means they can grow bigger. As big as a fire can get means as big as a fire salamander can get. Okay? These beings are able to emit, breathe, eat, sleep, control the bit with fire. Okay, so they're able to do anything. So if you have just a candle, your fire salamander is going to be very small. If you have one of the big candles where it has like 3 or 4 wicks in it, that fire salamander is going to be bigger. If you go out into your backyard, into a fire pit, or you go camping into the woods with a fire pit, however big you make that fire is how big that fire salamander will be. Okay? They do, as long as, let me clarify that, as long as you control it, okay? They do have the ability to push it and make themselves bigger, and then we end up with the case of forest fires where they become out of control. And that's them taking over that fire, okay, and absorbing it, and you've lost control of it, okay? So that's one of those things where I don't recommend people messing with them unless they actually know what they're going to do. Okay. Are they intelligent? Yes. Are they aggressive? Yes. I'm not going to say it's one of those things that where I say don't contact it, because you have to have fire. So in having fire, you have a fire salamander. That's all there is to it. They live in the flame and they die in the flame. The ether is what creates them and brings them, and then they leave as soon as the fire flame is gone. You know, you snuff it out, they're gone. You know, all that's left is what you remember or what they've done at that moment. So they're like a fae, kind of, you know. Next question, please. So nobody's really kind of giving me anything. I mean, one or two. Good morning, everyone. What kind of spirit are they? They are a fae. They're from the fae, Fey. Okay, so if you want to look them up, fae are not fairies. Okay, we're not talking about fairies. These guys are an etheric being. Okay, and when I talk about etheric beings, I talk about Lolofo, or I talk about the skyfish, or sylphs even are a form of etheric beings. They come from the ether. Okay, I'm not saying they're holy beings. I'm saying that they are from the ether. Okay. Anything else? Nope. If I do, there we go. A dragon, is a dragon a snake one? A dragon is, yes, I just said they're a form of etheric being. Dragons are a whole different subject. Shall we discuss those? Because they're one of my favorite beings to talk about. How about that, everybody? Dragons were created in a time when the earth again had what they were created first before dinosaurs, okay? And they were given kind of free reign because there was nobody here to have them be worried about them. That's right. The Solomon Islands have legends of a dragon snake. These guys were here before the dinosaurs. Okay, so then the dinosaurs were created, and it kind of just fit in with them with their large size. But dragons had something that dinosaurs did not have. Dinosaurs had solid physical bodies. Dragons do not. Okay, they are able to appear and disappear, slip from realm to realm. So these guys, no, I just got asked if they are a draconian. Draconians are reptilians. They are not dragons. Dragons are something else entirely. These beings, dragons are etheric, so they were able to assume the fire aspect of everything, okay? So they could come exist here and then slip back into their realm, okay? And they can assume any form. You have to remember that dragon can be huge or he can be very small. He can be in the water, he can be on the land, he can be in the air, he can be in, I have quite a number of pictures of them. They're one of my favorite beings. Draconians are not my favorite beings. I have a thing about reptilians, and I think we should talk about them right now. Yes, dragons can be good and dragons can be bad. It depends. They've got temperaments just like human beings. Okay, some are really pissy and some are really nice. Did God make dragons? Yes, he did. I don't care what people have to say on that subject because I already know that things were created here as a trial and experiment for this planet. And yes, the planet itself had a hand in their creation. Okay, we want to know what type of beings are nice. First of all, they have a limited lifespan, as I said, praise them forever. They're able to come and go. Or extract a cave in 45 feet. Yes. Yes, I have seen that. As I said, they can be killed. These guys live here, okay? We have to remember that this Earth, is a created being. It's a planet with an intelligence, okay? So these guys are able to jump in and out, and whatever they wanted for them means that they use it for them. And it was given to them. And by them, I mean the dragons. So they can hide inside our Earth, in caves, in tunnels. And remember, our Earth is not solid. I don't care what. I don't even know why they teach that, because it's not. It's honeycombed. Okay, there are pockets throughout our planet. Okay, and that's been proven. So I don't understand why they teach it as being a solid form when it's not, okay? So these guys can live in those pockets of caves or tunnels or whatever, or they can create their own by digging and hiding and sleeping, okay? These guys are able to be dealt with pretty much like any other cryptid, because they were created, but this is not their planet. Okay, it was a trial and experiment. So they have many of them have gone to other realms to live. Hi, Todd. I love you too. Good morning, Jennifer. I just think that we should put it out there about dragons, okay? Because, I mean, you could be down by a river or whatever and see one. Okay, so they're anywhere and everywhere. They choose to come through. Reptilians, my eyes itching. Sorry. I think that's a good discussion to have, because there are so many different types out there and people are encountering them and are not sure what they are dealing with. So I say, let's talk about them. And I'm sitting here looking at myself. I don't know how dark this video is. How's that? There. Let's try that. I knew my makeup light had to come in handy for something, right? So, oh my heck. Okay, guys. Let's figure this out, okay? Because get a lot of people that thank you, Nicholas, and welcome. I think that a lot of people deal with reptilians and are not even aware that they're dealing with them. Okay? And one of the easiest and simplest way to figure out if you're dealing with a reptilian. First of all, this is going to sound terrible, but it's the truth. Horrible, horrible, um, musky smell. Okay. Have you ever walked into the reptile house at the zoo? And you know that smell that's in there? It's kind of like a musky, hot, wet smell. Reptilians have this going on. It's body odor. And they can use cologne, they can use deodorant to try and hide it. No. They're very intense beings, okay? They're here with their own agenda and the things that they're going to do, okay? So that means they're going to be in your face all the time. It's a misconception because people tell me, oh no, reptilians stay away from you. No, they don't. No, they don't. They feel like they have a God-given right. Good morning, Priscilla. They feel like they have a God-given right to be just like so in your face aggressive, because that's reptilian brain, that's reptilian nature. We see it in snakes, lizards, any type of reptile, we see it here as it is, okay? But to deal with a reptilian being, they are the exact same way. It's that reptile brain that's down in there. Their eyes, yes, I was just going to say, the other way to tell them, these guys have a hard time shifting, okay? And holding it. I don't care who they are. If they're commander general or, high supreme leader or whatever they are. Okay, these guys have a hard time holding the outer projection that they are putting out there of themselves. Think hologram. And think of you with a magnet walking up to the holographic generator. It's going to mess up. It's going to glitch, okay? The first thing that glitches on them. Good morning, Nancy. I'm glad you're here. The thing that you can do to mess with them, if you like, which I tell people to be aware of, is the eyes, okay? If they're going to get in my face and be very assertive, aggressive, I'm one of those people already as it is. I stare at your eyes because I can see the type of person, that creature or being that you are through your eyes. Stare at them in their eyes. You're going to see a couple things happen. They're going to look away. They're going to break eye contact. They're not going to like you being aggressive back that way with them. I'm not saying physical, because these guys are really horrible physical. I am saying that you guys can jump in there and just stare at them, okay? Once you start doing that and making them nervous, once you throw them off their game, you're going to notice the eyes. That's when the glitches start coming. It's hard for them to keep that projection. And the eyes will change. You'll see red eyes, black eyes, yellow eyes. You're going to see cat-like slits. You're going to see the pupils dilate and change. And they're going to you're going to see them changing like that, okay? That'll be one of the easiest and first glitches that you're going to see. Second of all, like I said, is the fact that it's hard for them to hold that projection. So they're going to start being antsy, trying to get away from you. Then you have the ones who really just don't care. They're like, oh, she saw that what I am. She knows what I am. Okay. Then it's on them. They're either going to decide to get rid of you, or they're going to run. And usually they're not allowed to get rid of you, so they run. Are there crystals that mess with them? Oh my heck, yes. Please. Um, you can use something called shungite. You can use quartz crystal. Um, quartz crystal is a big one because it's one of those things that amplifies. It's an amplifier. Um, so the reptilians are here, and they are able to come between realms, okay? But they are not from here, okay? Um, they have their own planet, their own realm, okay? And these guys come here because there are a lot of things here for them that they need. And it's like, think of something to come through and take whatever they want from this planet, this realm, these people, because there's a lot here for them. I mean, it's too hard. It's like you going past a cheap store and being able to go in and buy what you need. At a discount price. Yes, that's sorry. Yeah. If anybody has not seen the African shaman speaking about reptilians, you really need to. Okay, I have it up on my Patreon. It's lost information that is being handed down from elder to elders, and they kept it straight. So people need to listen to these guys and reabsorb the knowledge that comes from them. A lot of people say, "Oh, David Icke is crazy," but that's not true. I mean, just like they say about me, people have knowledge, and if you want to accept that knowledge and learn from it, that's great. I think everybody should do that. Um, he is one of the best forms of a knowledge giver that I can think of. And he is in contact, like I said, with the Africans. You have to remember something about the African shamans and the African people. They are what my people consider the first people here, okay? And I have no, what's the word I want to say? No slur at all. My people have called them, okay, first of all, I want to say this, okay? The earth is sacred to my people, okay? And all forms of her. And we believe that everything comes from the earth, from Creator. Creator gave her the ability to create on this planet anything that she needed or wanted. So we call the African people the mud people because they were the first ones when the water came and turned the earth into mud that came from the earth. They are the oldest people here. So we believe that the African people are the oldest, wisest people out there. So with the shamans being able to hand down the information, you're getting information from the oldest culture that was created on this earth. And I think that they still have that knowledge. It's just amazing. And the fact that they're willing to share it, they're extending the hand. So I think it's important for everybody to see or at least read about that interview with that shaman because he really, really, really speaks about reptilians and what's going on with them and how down and dirty they are and where they come from and how they act. I think everybody needs to read that or watch it here on YouTube. Second of all, I just had someone pop up about Dogman. So I want to finish this discussion and then we'll talk about dogmen in dreams if you guys like. The next ones that come are your draconian type beings. I really hate that they gave him that name because they took it. They took it from the dragons, and it kind of bastardizes it for me. You know, I hate the fact that they call them draconian. They're not draconian, okay? They're not. They are the Chitauri, like you said. It just kills me that way. They think they are the greatest thing that there is on this planet, and then once they instill that into humans, then we all just follow along, you know, so we can't do that. I don't want to do that with them. I don't give them power. I don't give anything power. Don't give it power, okay? I guess we're just done discussing reptilians because I'm getting all these other questions popping up. Let's talk about the dogmen appearing in dreams and Sasquatch appearing in dreams, okay? Remember what I told you. When you have contact, even if you're not aware of that contact, you're going to have knowledge in your subconscious of that contact by the fact that these guys are coming to you in your dreams. And I'm sorry to say that when that happens, I know it really sucks, okay? Because you can be afraid, feel like you're being terrified. Good morning, Peg. That you're being overridden by these guys, okay? So you have to put up a ward to keep yourself safe, okay? These guys are coming to you for a reason. Okay, stay a mob will come to you because they want to instill something in you to let you know a form of information, something that they have to make contact with you with, that sort of thing. Dogmen and Shovachito are completely different. They come because it's their way of intimidation. It's their way of indoctrination. A way of feeling out. To make sure that they can have a form of control over you. Okay? People ask me a lot, you know, how do you protect yourself from them? Okay? Good morning, nobody. I think, first and foremost, if you don't remember what we've talked about in all the other videos, we'll talk about it very quickly here. The best way for you to keep these guys away from you are through prayer. And second of all, the crystals, if you are out walking or if you prefer to sleep with them somewhere around you. My daughter sleeps with hematite under her pillow and on the bedside table. This stops anything. Hematite stops. It's like hand sanitizer, I guess, for cryptids, because it emits a type of field energy that does not allow them to cross over. And the more you have of it around you, the stronger it is. And it's really cool because it's magnetic. So you can make these long chains, which she does. I mean, I've got it by my bed. Yes, that's what I was saying. The way prayer is your biggest one, though. Remember what I told everybody. If you call on them to stop and leave, they have to, you know, in the Lord's name. Does obsidian work? Yes. It's a form of glass. Okay, it's a form of glass that has a lot of different properties that we still aren't even sure of. Good morning, discovering Sasquatch and cryptids. Good morning. I really just want everyone to know that we weren't just thrown on this planet with no protection, okay? Earth Angel is having a problem with things eating her plants. First of all, you need to make sure it's not a normal animal being. It's one of those things. Thank you, Nicholas. If it's not an animal, then you could have a house fairy who's eating your plants. I'm not saying he's a nice fairy, but you could find something. Bugs are good for that. And then you can also find, if you've weeded out bugs out of the situation and pets, then your next option is that you may have a small type of fairy running through and in and out of the dimension of your home that eats these things. So there again, prayer helps. Crystals placed around it that will ward them off. So let's try the obvious. Put the crystals around it. Say the prayers around it. And you can bless your house and make sure that whatever is in your house is gone. Okay? People always tell me, oh, I've seen the movies where if you go through your home and say things, say the Lord's Prayer or whatever, and then all of a sudden, this entity thing turns worse than it was. Yes, Chrissy, I could do that. I could definitely do that. It just doesn't happen like that, okay? If you're dealing with something after you've said the Lord's Prayer and asked for help, and then it turns into this ginormous attack you think, that's not a cryptid, that's a demon, okay? Because fairies, cryptids, once you start saying anything like that, that's going to banish them, okay? Demons, pissy again. There's a pissy thing, they don't want to be subject to the Lord's law, and they're going to fight you on it. So that's completely different from a cryptid, okay? I think that if you follow basic directions, these guys are gonna leave, okay? You're stronger than they are, okay? You have to remember that. And I like to tell people this, okay? Fairies are two different beings. Remember, I've told you that. But this is my question to people out there. How strong is your faith in dealing with these things? Because you have all power. It was given to you. These other things that come here, I don't care what they look like. Big and bad, hairy scaries, whatever you want to call them, you ultimately have the power over them. Okay? So you can kick them out of your house. Check my messages. I can try. My messages are nuts. Do you know that yesterday I had 157 messages? So like I said, I need help because I am so overwhelmed, and I have a real world that I live in and have to deal with things, and then there's YouTube, and then there's Patreon and Facebook. Facebook doesn't matter. I'm not saying that people aren't important to me, but that's like visiting, okay? Earth Angel, yeah, yes, thank you. I wondered if that was you. Thank you. I was going to reach out and ask you. Like I said, I'm a little overwhelmed right now, but I will go check my messages. I just get to the point where my head is just like banging, Nope, you're wrong, Todd. Not today. No, no, no. Let's see. The stigma will come to you, like I said, to impart knowledge. Dogman to intimidate. Reptilians to intimidate, indoctrinate, make you follow along with their agenda. Okay, and anybody who's ever had a reptile, I am very partial to snakes, okay, and my iguanas, but I'm going to say they are very manipulative, okay, and I'm going to give this example. Iggy, my iguana, got to the point where she would do anything and everything that she could just to get the little red maraschino cherries out of the fruit cocktail. So it turned into where you could buy the mostly cherry one because she wanted what she wanted. And in being so aggressively manipulative, she would not eat the other things that was given to her. And it would throw a fit. I mean, that tail would start swinging around, and I don't know if you've ever been hit with an iguana tail. It's got serrates on them. They're very moody. The other thing, other reptiles that I have are my Burmese. And if they don't want to eat something, they're not going to eat it. They're going to make you scared and make you do what you got to do to feed them. I think that in dealing with all reptilians, it's just the way that they are. People do need to open their third eyes. Maybe I need to post up some links for that because I don't think about that stuff, and I think that people naturally open their third eyes, and I think everybody has that awareness, and I forget that people don't. Thank you, nobody. So I think that I will go ahead and post up some links to that because there's several on YouTube that explain to you how to do it. It's interesting to me how many things out there that people are not aware of. People are, so concerned over politics and things. Thank you, nobody. Yes, tell them to do this, please. Mine own, a lot of them can be, mine or not. Mine are drug out and played with and loved to death. And I always tell the story of, this is my horror story, and it's not meant to be a horror story, but it is. I had taken my big baby Burmese down to, he was only 10 feet long, almost 10 feet long. I had taken him down to, please, nobody. I had taken them down to the river. They love to swim. And I did not realize that down the river further were people getting baptized. So Charlie's swimming, you know, and I'm playing with him in the water, and next thing I know, he just went down the river a little bit like he always did, and then I would swim and catch up with him. And wrong thing to do when people are getting baptized, because here comes this great big long 10-foot Burmese python. I felt horrible. I mean, screams like you've never heard. Okay, then to think that you've got a snake, which is considered evil in the Bible. I'm sorry, you guys. It was, everybody says I am so twisted for this, but I was laughing and trying to grab him, and he's trying to get away because he's like, no, I want to swim. And they're like, he's like, oh, look, people, because he's very friendly. And it was a ginormous mess. Okay. And when snakes swim, you know, it was horrible. He was full of water, you know, because he'd been swimming. And so I'm picking him up and dragging him away from him. I get to the shore, and I am dragging him, and I'm holding him up like this, trying to get the water to drain out of him like a hose, so I can put him back into his bag, because I have a big duffel bag that I carry him in. And I was just like, oh my heck. I'm like apologizing to these people, you know, please forgive me. I'm so sorry. He's not the dog. He's really nice. He really is. You know, he just wants to see people, and he's just having a good time. So, no, very spoiled. Very, very spoiled. Earth Angel, I think I'm trying to figure out what we can do for you, because that's awful that your plant got eaten, and I'm so sorry for that. You know, and everybody's going to sit here. There's a lot of people that'll sit here and say, oh, it's just a plant. What is she worried about? Well, if you've had it for that long. But most importantly is the fact that there's something inside your home that you're not aware of and you cannot control. Okay? So if that's the case, I don't know about anybody else, that scares me. Denise just said her dog broke up a wedding photos. I'm sorry. I love animals because they are, you know, they just have their own personalities. Yes, they can pretend to be angels. They are, I have a mouth. Everybody knows that. I'm just going to call them. They are one of those beings. Okay, I'm going to put it like this. Okay, they're fallen. Okay, fallen doesn't mean that, you know, the mountain, you know, came down and mated with human, that type of thing. I'm talking about there were angels that decided to be cast down and to rebel. Okay, so not all of them are huge. Okay, and not all of them look like us. Not all of them. They are the fae. They're fairies. You know, these guys. You have to remember, they can assume forms, but they kind of get stuck in their forms because they've been in them for so long. Okay, we're talking for a long, long time. Okay, so they get stuck and they assume the form. They're wrapped up in the form. They like this form, and that's where they choose to stay. Okay, if you don't have a skill, if you have a skill and you don't use it and use it and use it, you lose it. Okay, and that's these guys. Okay, so they choose to be in these small bodies, and they choose to act the way that they're acting. So we have to remember that. Okay, so if you're dealing with a brownie or whatever, it's still stuck in that form. Okay, so you've got fae that are pretending to be angels. It's real simple. ask it. Here's your chance to be an actor, okay? For instance, well, I have a problem with my neighbor, whatever, make it up, good morning, Tracy Joe. You can ask them to help you do something to be bad to your neighbor or whatever. Okay, this is hypothetical. And they're going to say, okay, let me help you. Okay? Or they're going to say, no, that's not the correct way to treat your neighbor because that's not what Heavenly Father teaches. Okay, so right there, you've got your answer. Are you dealing with fallen or are you dealing with real angelic beings? Good morning, Michael. Tracy Joe, I need to speak with you, please. If you wouldn't mind messaging me, I really need to speak with you. I think that if we really open our eyes and our hearts to discernment and use that tool, you're able to start distinguishing between good and bad, okay? And to be tricked by the Fae, it's been happening for a long, long time. There's just too many accounts, stories, legends about this, okay? But if we really start using the tools that we have within ourselves, then we can. Good morning, Braden, KW, Braden. I'm not sure how to say that one. You have to trust that gut feeling, like I've said. We have the tools ourselves. We weren't just thrown here and said, here, protect yourself. Figure it out. That's my favorite one. Oh, but you're just thrown on the spot and told, figure it out. And that's right, nobody. It is one of the hardest things to do. It's very hard for us as human beings because we have so many other things outside our own perception of this realm. And I love you too, Earth Angel. We need to really realize what's coming, okay? And in doing that, we need to realize that we have in ourselves the ability to control, shape, and manifest things in this reality, okay? And when I say that, I mean it, okay? You can control these things. And I don't want people, oh no, the Trouble Brothers are up. Here they come. Get ready, people. Yep. All the small ones out and about now too. So we have the ability to control these things. And in doing this, we have to learn to do what we know inside of ourselves we can do. Okay? So you have to have faith. You have to ask Heavenly Father to stand beside you and to fight these things. Okay? Give you the strength to deal with them. And you can start small. I mean, if you don't want fae in your house, fairies in your house, then you can say something. Get the heck out of my house. You're not allowed here. Because it's your house, right? But more importantly, you have power over everything on this planet. I don't care who it is, what it thinks it is. You know, you have all power and control over it. So people need to be aware of that. Okay? Is it scary? Well, yeah. You know, but we're all adults, right? We can handle this. We got this. Stand up till you get out of your house. If you got them banging on your doors or whatever, deal with them. I have to deal with them. And then you don't think I get scared? I get scared. I was scared last night. So, but I have to realize that I have the ability to control these things. So I think everybody can do this, you know? You need to trust in yourself that you can do this, okay? I'm one of those people where I don't have patience sometimes, and get angry. And then once that happens, it's on, you know? It's just on. So, like I said, if I have the longest fuse, but when it's lit, everybody better run. And sometimes, I'm not going to lie, that's what I end up dealing with the cryptids, because they tick me off to no end. Okay, not all of them, but there are those out there that tick me off and get me going, you know? So, anywho, I guess that's going to be it for this discussion today. Yes, anger is a result of fright. You know, I just said, I get afraid. And when I'm afraid, I don't like the feeling of being afraid. So I call on the Lord and I use his righteous anger, and I do use it. You know? I'm not going to put up with them, because I know that I don't have to, and neither do you. So, that being said, I guess the next video I'm going to make will be about the gems and stones and other things that are on this realm that you can use to keep yourself safe. That's right. I'm sorry, Smoke Dog just gave me something funny. What's wrong with stuffing them in a hole? I agree. Peg, no, they did not find him. We need to, I'm going to put this knowledge up, okay, about the gems and everything, and the crystals that you need. I love you all. Please say prayers for the missing hiker, the area in Oregon, because what happened to him is terrible. It happens to a lot of people that vanish, and unfortunately, I've tried to, oh, thank you, Earth Angel, to help people as much as I can. I can only extend the hand, and if they don't want it, that's fine. But please, please, you guys, say a prayer for the people that are missing, because a lot of times their families don't want to hear from me. Anywho, I love you, and I will see you all next week, okay? Talk to you later. Bye, guys.